Hey guys, I'm Tyler from Modern Outdoor Adventures, here with my friends from Blue Alpha. Today we're talking about something that first-time shooters or new shooters really have a lot of problems with, and we're gonna break it down and make it super easy for y'all today, and that is zeroing your red dot sight on your AR. So a couple of things you're gonna need in order to make this process really easy is the tools that specifically come with your optic. Now we all know that Aimpoint ships with its own sight adjustment tool. Holosun, Trijicon, all of these companies ship with a little tool that helps you zero them. So you're gonna want that. Worst case scenario, a screwdriver or flat piece of metal. Heck, you can even use the end of a 5.56 casing for a lot of sights. You're gonna need a clean target, you're gonna need a Sharpie, and you're gonna need a stable shooting platform, like a bag, a tripod, a bipod, or a hog saddle. So one of the things to understand is that with your red dot sight equipped rifle, or in the case of this LMT pistol, your range may be a limiting factor at what distance you can sight your gun in. For simplicity's sake, we're gonna do this at about 10 yards and talk about the process of translating that to a much further sight-in distance. One of the first things you're going to want to do is to take off the turret adjustment caps from your current optic. In this case, this Aimpoint T2 has its own little tool built right into the adjustment caps. Otherwise, make sure you've got the right tool for the job. So if you haven't seen our How to Zero Your Red Dot Pistol video, I highly suggest you scroll down and check that one out. But if this is your first foray into instructional videos with Tyler, courtesy of Blue Alpha, we're gonna give you the rundown. I like to use a blank cardboard target to do all of my zeroing. There's a lot of great aftermarket targets out there that help with this, but I find that this is pretty approachable for everybody. So I like to take my target and make about a 1-inch point of aim right in the center. You can run this out at whatever distance. If you're shooting at an indoor range, a lot of times you're limited in distance. So we're gonna talk about how to do this at a shorter distance that translates into a longer sighted in range. All right, so now that we're loaded up and we have our target ready, let's get to zeroing. So as you can see, these 5 rounds impacted just a little bit to the left, and they look good height-wise. But remember, we're zeroing at 10 yards. That means that in order to be sighted in at 50 or 100 or 200, these rounds need to be impacting somewhere around here. So if you're doing this at an indoor range and all you've got is 10 yards, we need to make sure that our impacts happen somewhere in this area. We're gonna head back to the bench. We're gonna put some clickies and tickies on our sights, and we're gonna come back and see if we can't tighten this up. Okay, let's give it another go. If you remember from our zeroing your red dot optic for your pistol video, occasionally you'll get a flyer or an outlier. Remember, ignore those, focus on the group itself and not some random trash that you get for being a bad shooter like me. So it looks like we've brought our grouping a little further to the right and dropped it down just a hair. Looks like maybe one more adjustment and we'll be right where we need to be. So we're getting pretty close to where we need to be. I'm gonna go ahead and draw myself a fresh circle on this target, or dot, to give us a new point of aim. Remember, we're making sure that our point of impact is well below our point of aim because we're doing this to simulate those of you who may not have access to a wide open 250-yard range. So as long as our point of impact falls below that point of aim, it essentially is us zeroing at a much longer distance. So we got a pretty good group here. One of the things that I always like to do if I'm able is to confirm this at distance. So we've got some steel targets behind us at actual range. We're gonna back up and get some shots on that to confirm that this translates to a much longer distance. As you can see, those were all hits. So this has been a quick video on how to zero your red dot for your rifle. Remember that what we're doing is simulating a much longer range using a shorter distance. So understanding what you're doing in that and then verifying it at actual distance is pretty important. As always, talk amongst yourselves in the comments below. Tell me what I did right, tell me what I did wrong. Talk about how amazing Blue Alpha's products are and how sweaty my boobies are. Have a great day, gang.